upstairs, and I'm on my Casper mattress snoring.
I had a boss who was kind of like that. She didn't have rules, but she would be emailing at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and then she would be at the office at 6, 7 in the morning. And she'd be like, "Did you get my emails?" And we would all be like, yeah.
What emails?
I just woke up
But
at
I
9.
think it looks unprofessional. Like, don't email a client at 3 in the morning, when they're sleeping. If that you're working on their work at 3 in the morning, it's not going to be good.
They pay attention to that. I mean,
it's going to be
clients do not like, not even that. They don't, it's set it for a timer to release at 8:30.
Yeah.
Right? It's not hard to do. The technology's all there. Speaking of technology being there, bad segue of the week. We talked last week about the POTUS blocking Twitter accounts.
Yep.
Well, it came home. So it found out that our beloved Michigan government has blocked over 800 Twitter accounts. And God knows what they did or said. But again, we talked about this.
Because oddly enough, they blocked people like Rainn Wilson, the actor.
Beats by Shruti.
Right.
Rainn Wilson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he
Dwight Schrute.
Made some shrewd remark. He made a shrewd remark? Yes. Come on, work with me. No, but
550 by the Department of Transportation alone. And they said that a lot of them, they had no reason as to why they were blocked. They were pornography, they were spam. Then there were other legitimate, like, small businesses that no one seems to know why they were blocked.
If you come out and say, traffic jam, you suck, and then are they blocking that? You know what I mean? Like, especially if they're going to MDOT?
And we talked about this, was it last week about?
Yeah, totally. That's why it was interesting this came up now.
Is it the same thing, though? Because presidential tweets are a matter of, like, congressional record and stores in the Library of Congress. Does the Michigan Department of Transportation have the same rules?
I don't know.
Does it impact someone's ability to be governed?
If it's if it's governed by public forum, then yeah, possibly. So, hey, Bob, I did want to ask you. Remember how every time you come back from the resort in Mexico and you have that one huge blackout story?
I shouldn't be laughing.
Yeah, we may have found out why.
It's a screwed up story.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Apparently, tourists to all-inclusive resorts in Mexico suspect they were given tainted alcohol. There are numerous reports. Well, we know you're all about tainted. But
one particular company, they said, one company in particular, is like Iberostar?
Yeah, Iberostar, yeah.
That's where we stay in Riviera Maya.
I know.
Really?
That's why it caught my eye.
You had 2 drinks and fell over and broke your leg, basically, right?
I drank everything.
Oh.
No, I slipped on on
your flip-flop.
Yeah, in the patio.
Are you sure that wasn't because you were drugged?
No.
Okay.
Well, the thing was, it's a really sad story. It was a husband and wife, and the 2 kids were in their early 20s. And the parents were like, hey, we're getting ready. We're going to meet for dinner at 7. Came back for dinner, no kids.
Yep.
And both of them were face down in the pool. Girl doesn't make it, boy does. And he basically had a knot on his head and basically said, hey, there was a group shot going around. It was dark like Jägermeister. And we all did it, and then I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
They both had 0.25 BACs.
Yep.
I mean, you joke about this whole, Bob got cut off from an all-inclusive, but maybe that was
may have saved your life.
May have been a good thing. Well, and then
because they've said they've done investigations and they've caught them spiking stuff, not just with additional ethanol, but with methanol.
And 42% of the booze served in Mexican resorts, it said, is not legal.
Yeah, I thought that was a crazy high percentage.
Ridiculous.
Here's the thing. I drank beer probably 90% of the time when I was there.
Which, if it comes out of a bottle, you're pretty much guaranteed that it's beer.
Or tap. Yeah, you can't mess that up.
Right.
We did a shot maybe, I didn't drink many mixed drinks, except for that one day at the pool we did all the shots.
And the screwed up thing is it's like this story keeps getting deeper. It's like there are just dozens of stories. And it's like the hospitals are involved, the ambulance companies are involved, the resort themselves are involved. It's like a really I would not go to an all-inclusive resort in Mexico right now.
Well, I tried to talk to my wife about that. I go, hey, babe, do you hear about these? And she goes, no, don't tell me. Like, no, don't tell me. And I'm like, well, that's where we go on vacation. Right. It's like our place. And like, no, don't tell them. So I'm like, all right, I won't tell you. Here's this one got me. I love this story more than anyone. Not the Mexico story. That's sad. But when you're a hated company and you finally get fed up.
Oh, dude, I love this. And it's the one I'm sitting here looking at. So, yeah.
So here we got. There's a probably what's the most hated company in the U.S. right now? Is it Walmart or
United?
Comcast.
Yeah,
United right now could be up there. Yeah. As we just said, Comcast not last week. We love you, Michelle. Yes, we love you. So here, there's Southern Rail, I guess the railway in the UK. It's like their most hated company of all time, and they get these nasty tweets all the time. So what do? They put a 15-year-old smartass in charge of their Twitter.
I don't think he was a smartass. No. I think he's just like a genuinely like good kid. It's
Bob, the customer service manager's son.
Totally.
Right. So he basically put like his first tweet is like, "Hi, Eddie here. We're ready to answer your questions." So basically, people were just asking like life on Earth questions.
Oh yeah, I love Eddie. If a jogger runs at the speed of sound, can he still hear his iPod? Hashtag Ask Eddie. Eddie replies, "Well, he wouldn't be jogging anymore."
Right. So like now it's like people are laughing because like it's one of those things like it's a Taco Bell thing like you're serving dog food in a taco shell, but yet if you have funny Twitters, people love you.
Yeah, exactly. Meatloaf would do anything for love, but he wouldn't do that. What was that, Eddie? It was me.
I know the answer to that. We don't want to talk about that. But no, like I think that's a brilliant strategy by these companies. Just throw you can't get mad at Eddie.
Right.
Like no matter what he says, it's going to be like a cute little 50-year-old Eddie. Right.
That is pretty smart.
Speaking of people tweeting things.
Oh boy.
Did you guys hear about the Ford Fusions that are just a little too dope?
Yeah, they're a little too dope for their own good.
How much is that? So I'm not an avid partaker, and I know you guys aren't either.
About this topic.
$1 million of weed in brand new Fusions. How many bags of pot is that?
Well, they said each bag was 32 pounds, and that they were found in 15 cars. That's a lot of marijuana. Like street value of good stuff. Like if you were to go to a dispensary here in Michigan, the average is about $200 an ounce.
Okay,
good stuff will cost you like between $300 and $400 from what I read online.
So 5,000 ounces divided by pi and it
pulls up his calculator.
Yeah, I got nothing.
So hold on. Let me think. The genius status here. So he brings in an army
not really
duffel
genius
bag.
status. I mean, this was the
No.
This was the plot of Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke.
I'm thinking it's one of the dumber things because he had to smuggle in 2 army bags full of pot, and then he's going to put them in new car delivery to go where? Why didn't he just deliver it?
It's kind of brilliant, right? So you basically at the factory, you pack pot into the tires. It's on a train the entire way.
Going anywhere?
How many drug-sniffing dogs are on that train? Then somewhere along the supply line, you got guys who stop, take them off. You're in cahoots with the railway yard or something. Like it's a really good plan, but somewhere it's screwed up.
Well, yeah, because it said they had earlier there were seizures in Minnesota and Phoenix, in Minnesota, and these were apparently found in Ohio and Pennsylvania.
Strangely enough, this is the only thing that makes me want to buy a Ford Fusion.
Order one and wait, no, not this one. Let me have a different one. No,
Can I have one in green, please?
Let me have
only in green.
I'm looking for the green model.
Speaking of pot, and Dave, we talked about this. We're going to be, if we haven't talked about it enough, we're going to be launching a new IT in the Deep training program for level 1 help desk to fill those needs.
Well, we have already launched it. We are launching. We're launching it downtown now.
Yeah. We haven't officially announced, but we told everyone that we did a little workshop in Flint. We said there's really two rules to you being a level 1 help desk employee: show up on time and don't smoke pot. Like if you can follow those 2 rules,
you are in the top 10%.
You'll be the best employee they ever had. And a story came out from BridgeMI.com that employers are starting to have a really hard time.
Yeah, they said a major manufacturing facility in Detroit furloughed some workers during a downturn, like they always do. And then they called back 100 of the workers several months later, and all 100 workers failed.
There's an executive at a Macomb County mold manufacturer that basically came out and said, that's why we don't drug test, because if we did, we'd have no employees.
The last several companies I worked for, and they're all West Coast-based technology companies, nobody drug tests anymore. Like the only way you'd get drug tested in IT is if you have government contracts in your building, more or less.
Well,
require it. Yeah.
Think about that. Everyone talks about manufacturing jobs are gone, and there's no jobs left, and they can't find any work. I think it's that people are choosing. It's like the what's the running back from the Dolphins that chose, or for the New Orleans Saints that chose pot over football.
I got nothing.
And it's like these people are choosing pot over like gainful employment, and it's just going to be interesting to watch because what are you going to do, right?
It's ridiculous, and I'm sorry, but on the topic of ridiculous, I love the story coming out of Toronto, where a guy got sick and tired of watching people fall down a hill that was attached to his backyard from a park. Like numerous people had apparently taken like just headers and like slipped and fell and just like it was bad. So he got together with his neighbors and for I believe it was $550. He got the materials and he built a staircase.
It's a pretty noble act, right?
It's kind of cool. Something for the greater good. You're trying to keep people from hurting themselves. Yeah. So unfortunately, the folks, where is this? I'm trying to make sure that so it's right outside of Toronto. The city council is now
Saskatoon?
saying a little bit south of Saskatoon. Yeah. His staircase is apparently not up to code.
Okay.
And so, because of that, they would like to replace his stairs. Like they've already cordoned them off with, with like hazard tape.
So they can put some like cement stairs in for maybe what, $5,000-$10,000?
Oh, you would think so.
Oh.
They would like to replace this man's $550 staircase, and the quotes they've gotten so far range from $65,000 to $150,000.
Are they doing work at Kobo? Jeez.
Yeah, so that's if you think government bureaucracy only exists in the U.S., you would be wrong.
Like we want to plug this in. Oh, that'll be $3,000.
That'll be $3,000 per plug.
Dude, you remember that story with Elon Musk when he was stuck in traffic and he said, "I'm going to get I'm going to drill underground."
Yeah,
and everyone thought he was joking. We even thought he was trolling.
He called it the Boring Company.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like dangerously close. Like it was somewhere around April Fool's Day, like that happened,
and it just sounded hokey.
Yeah,
and here it comes out that he got a verbal from the White House to build a quote-unquote hyperloop that'll get you from D.C. to New York in 29 minutes.
Yeah, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, D.C.
I don't know exactly the mechanics of how it works, but basically, does it take your car and drop you instead it drops you like in an elevator?
Yep.
And it puts you on like a trafficless, like it's like a queue, like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like you're in queue, you can't hit anybody because there's no one to hit. And you just got free reign. You're going to get, I don't know if they're whoosh. Right. It goes whoosh. And you go there, and then you get elevator up, and you're in the ceiling.
I just wanted to build an underground pneumatic tube system. I think that would be amazing.
I'm just picturing those drive-through teller tubes.
Yeah, pneumatic tubes.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Randy Walker.
Like the White Castle on 696 in Gratiot.
Oh, that's right. The Stairway from Heaven that delivers your food from over the rainbow.
It's brilliant, though. I've ridden the Acela Express, which is usually the quickest way to get from New York to D.C., and it's about 4 hours.
Yep.
Same thing from New York to Boston. If you can do it in 20 minutes, that makes the whole East Coast so much smaller.
Oh, it's crazy. That's pretty nuts. I did love, because we always love technology screw-ups. I love that Google is trying to do a Facebook kind of news feed for its users. Because they want to own you and they have all your searches. So they're doing it based on your location, based on your search history. Mm-hmm. They're trying to spoon feed you relevant news that they think you might like, which, whatever. It's Google. The problem that they're having is it's working fine on iPhones, but it's not really working on Android devices.
Wait, what?
little bit of a snafu that Google's having with that.
Just 83% of the market share, and we don't have it. It doesn't work on our own phones.
Right.
Their own operating system.
Yeah, I'm sure someone is losing their job over that as we speak. But yeah, it's all because apparently on the iPhone, you have to click an app. You have to click a button. But like on the Android devices, they're trying to do it like that, like briefing where you have to swipe.
Kind of cards.
And it won't work with the swipe.
Wow.
So yeah, it's falling down going boom.
Yeesh. Do we tell the one last story? It was the best headline. I always like the funny headlines. There was a couple of them with USA Today when they found instead of saying they found fecal bacteria, they said they found poo bacteria.
Right.
At USA Today, like you'd expect better for them, but
not really.
No, you'd think like it was kind of like the last year in Detroit. They said poo water in the streets or whatever.
Was brilliant.
Come on, or poop water. This one was a guy took LSD and ended up getting naked in the park up north and chased seagulls around all morning.
And it said local man, and I was like, Nuri, where were you this weekend?
I was downstate.
But like, what drugs? I go, he's on LSD. It makes sense to me.
And it's all clear now.
And then anyone you date or any potential employer for the rest of your life Googles your name and you were the naked guy that You know, you never want to be the naked guy in the drive-through story, or the naked guy that chases seagulls.
Right. There is one that is equally good though.
Oh no.